Hi everybody, this is John here from Sydney in Australia. I'm a language teacher. Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about using the past simple in English and the present perfect. This does confuse a lot of learners because they wonder about the clear rules, whether there are any clear rules about on what occasions we should use either tense. So let's talk a little bit about this and how we can easily remember when to use which one. Now, the past simple in English, or the simple past, is just a sentence like I did it. It uses the past simple of the verb. So I did it, I finished it, I spoke to him, I went there, etc., etc. Right? I gave it to him. It's the past simple. The present perfect uses the auxiliary verb have. Okay, so I have, or he has, or she has, right? As well as the participle, the past participle, do, did, done. So I have done it. Okay, I have done it. I have spoken to him. I have been there. English is strange. We use be. Even we don't say I have. I have gone there. I have finished it, etc. Okay, now when to use the past simple and the present perfect really comes down to the interaction between, or the relationship between, the action and the time. Now, for example, here the action is to do something, right? Now, if the action is finished, we can use either the past simple or the present perfect. So, I want to tell you that the work is finished, right? I finished it. Wouldn't say I finish. But we could say I have finished it. Okay, so we can use either the past simple or the present perfect when the action is finished. We could also use past perfect, but let's not worry about that at the moment. Whether we use the past simple or the present perfect depends on the time. Now, if the time is finished, for example, yesterday, we must use the past simple. So, for example, I did it yesterday. This time is finished, or last year. Okay, but if the time is unfinished, for example, today, we can say I have done it today. Also, if the time is unclear, we should use the present perfect. So we only use the past simple when the action is finished and the time is finished. Okay? Now, it can be a little bit confusing, so let me give you some clear examples. Okay? We use the present perfect. Okay? Present perfect is just have done. Okay? When? First of all, we don't say the time. For example, I have spoken to him. Time here is not mentioned. It could have been today, it could have been yesterday. Okay? The time is not mentioned. Okay? Another one is I have been to, for example, I have been to the UK. Okay? Now, with something like the time, when the time is not finished, for example, today, all right, I have spoken to him today. Today is still going. Now, another good example of the time is not finished is here. I have done, sorry, it's hard to see there. I have done 3 jobs this morning. Now, let's imagine, now here, this would mean that this morning is not finished yet. Okay, maybe it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I have done 3 jobs this morning. Okay, that's why we say I have had breakfast. Often, because it's 9 o'clock, the morning is still going, the time for having breakfast is still going. If someone sees you at 12 o'clock, you would say I had breakfast, because by 12 o'clock, that time is finished. The morning time, the time you can eat breakfast, is finished. So, in the afternoon, you say, I was busy this morning, because that morning is finished. But if you're still in the morning, I have been busy this morning. Or still in the day, I have been busy today. Okay, so the time is not finished, we use the present perfect. Or when we don't say the time. So another good example of this is I have been to many countries. Now here we don't say the time, so I have been, but we could also understand this for my life is not finished yet, because I'm still alive. I'm speaking to you. I have been to many countries. A person who's passed away, we say he went to many countries during his life or her life. Okay. Now the third occasion when we should use the present perfect, okay, after we don't say the time is not finished. The third one is the time is indefinite. Now, time is indefinite is usually denoted by a word like already, or yet, or still. So, I have already done it. I haven't finished yet. Now this is, well, you're going to get to this in a minute. So yes, basically with already, yet, and still. So I still haven't done it. This time is indefinite. Still, well, you know, that's not a definite time. I have already done it, and I haven't finished yet. Okay. All right. Good. Now, I just like you. So under those three, just revising, right? So use the present perfect when. We don't say the time. I have spoken to him. The time is not finished. I have done 3 jobs this morning, or understood to be not finished. I have been to many countries in my life, right? Or the time is indefinite, using already, yet, and still. Now, I do want to make the point here that there is a difference here with US English. Okay, as we can see, British Commonwealth English, that would mean the UK, my country Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, etc. That's British Commonwealth English. Uses already, yet, and still in the present perfect, as I've just described. So I have already done it. But those of you familiar with US English, or when you'll often hear this in TV shows and movies, they will use the past simple for already, yet, and still. For example, they'll say, I already did it, or I didn't finish yet. Right? Or I still didn't do it. In the UK or in Australia, the British Commonwealth, that would be not considered correct grammar, right? We would use already, right? We would say, I have already done it, or I haven't finished it yet. But in the United States, that is okay, and it will be used like that. Okay. Now, just one more point I wanted to make, yes, was sometimes you will hear something like this. He left. Now here, there's no time, right? There's no time stated. But a person can only leave once, right? They were here, they left, right? So this time, it's not important here, right? Time doesn't even come into it. Grammatically, you could say he has left because there's no time, but some people will say he left because there's no chance of this person repeating this action, okay? But remember, you could say he has left, okay? Same with he died. He can only die once, right? So he has died. So, you know, where's your grandfather? Oh, I'm sorry, my grandfather, he died, right? Okay, not he has died, because a person can only die once, okay? So that is a time when, in spoken English, we'll often use the past simple, even though it breaks these rules, okay? So just to go through that one more time, easy way to remember, please use the present perfect when. We don't say the time, I've spoken to him. All right, the time is not finished. I've done 3 jobs this morning, okay? Or the time is indefinite. I have already done it. I hope that was useful to you. Thank you very much.